My name is Marcia Jews. Welcome to STEM City USA's coverage of the Women of Color STEM Conference. Through all 3 days, we will be bringing you incredible interviews with inspiring STEM pioneers leading the way in industry, government, academia, and around the world. And now, please welcome our next guest.
Hi, I'm Dakeesha Wright. I'm an operations and site leader for Collins Aerospace, an RTX company in Richardson, Texas. Something interesting about myself? I love to travel, especially cruises, and I really love to plan events.
I am so excited to meet you.
Well, thank you. I'm happy to be here.
Collins Aerospace.
Yes, ma'am.
And you were in Richmond, Texas?
Richardson. Which is just north of Dallas.
Okay. So when you were a little girl, what did you want to be when you grew up?
When I was a little girl, I didn't have the same, like, I want to be a princess, fairies, that kind of thing. But I never really said exactly what I wanted to do. It was funny. As a little girl, I just liked taking stuff apart. And my dad was like, why are you taking everything apart and putting stuff together? Like, if they were putting together furniture, I'd want to help. It was just the oddest thing for especially a little girl to want to do. So I can't say, oh, I want it to be this or that I can remember. I just know that I honed in on the love of parts and things moving and working together.
Well, I think what's also important is just trying to find that piece of yourself that fits in to places where you don't even know that it looks like. So if you have a puzzle and you got to put that little piece in the puzzle, there's always one little corner that you got to make it line up. What was that little corner that made it line up for you to go to that company?
That is just so funny to say, as to hear you just say that piece that you have to line up. Because actually, coming up and as a little girl, when we were just talking about careers, what I wanted to be, I actually realized that I was really good at math and science. And so when I was in did the gifted programs and did different things around math and science, but again, still never honed in on a career. And then as I was going to high school, we started up a engineering club. But I heard about it. It was one of my counselors. She was good friends with somebody who was doing it at another high school. So she said, let's bring it here. And so we did. And so that kind of started sparking my interest. And then I went to one of those engineering camps that they do for high school students, but at the local college. So we stayed the week and built robots and did all of that kind of fun bridge building thing. That really I was like, okay, this is it. That and my dad's influence. He was the one that really looked at me and he said, with this math and science, you need to do something technical. You need to think about being an engineer. And that's when I was like, I could do that.
But there are different levels or different parts of engineering. There are different categories or divisions. So what is your lane? Which area did you decide and why that specific area of engineering were you interested in?
So I went into mechanical engineering, and one of the reasons I absolutely love mechanical is because it is so versatile. You literally can do just about anything being a mechanical engineer. So one of the jobs that I applied for was at the Huggies diaper factory. I didn't get that job. I ended up working, with Pratt & Whitney and ultimately the same career I'm in now. But it was just funny to think a mechanical engineer, working with diapers. So you can really go anywhere with mechanical engineering. And that's one of the things that I loved about it, is it wasn't so specialized that you could be impactful in any industry.
So when you say Pratt & Whitney, I start thinking of helicopters and planes and that kind of thing. And so you got to help me do that art to diapers. And because clearly there is an engineering aspect to that. And, I think the oddest things have an engineering element to it. There's a basis. Let's talk about the dichotomy of those two, real engines, real mechanical touch feel versus, and I'm using the diaper because it could be anything else. It could be a chair. It could be, would you share that?
Yeah, so it's funny to think that there's really like mechanics, and you have to develop products. I don't care what the product is. It has to be designed. It's got to be developed. It's got to be manufactured. It's got to be tested. No matter what the product is. And so all of those really relate to the mechanics of what an engineer does. Is really to think up that idea, to think up the creativity that goes into the use of whatever that product is, and how to make it durable, reliable, and function as the user would want it to function. That's really what you want to do ultimately. So that's why engineering is versatile, because it doesn't matter what it is. There's some aspect of a design, manufacture, development process that needs to occur in order for that product to be out on the market.
I love it. And so, in looking at your career, and how long have you been in this industry?
Whew. So yeah, just a few, a few long good ones. 26 years. So it's 22 years official with my organization and 4 years of internship. So my entire engineering career has been with the same company, just different divisions.
Oh, I love it. And let's talk about that internship.
Mm-hmm.
Was that right out of college or while you were active in college?
It was actually, I was 17 when I started my internships. I was out of high school. So with that same program that I talked about in high school in West Palm Beach, Pratt and Whitney used to sponsor a portion of that program. It's called SecMe, and they did the rocket launches where they offered scholarships and internships. And I happened to win that year the scholarship for my county. And so that started my career. So 2 weeks after graduating high school, I had some college classes in high school, the whole dual enrollment thing, but I had not actually officially started college. But yeah, I started with Pratt and Whitney 2 weeks after high school.
I love it.
Mm-hmm.
So that's very thought-provoking, excuse me, that a young person would have the mindset to see, sometimes I say, oh, you have to see yourself there. And you saw yourself there. And not only saw yourself there, but you decided you're going to open the door.
Yes, ma'am. And walk right in.
And walked in, closed the door and said, okay, now look.
I'm here. I'm here.
Right.
Uh-huh.
What would you say to parents who are dealing with young people that are middle school age?
Mm-hmm.
What should they be thinking about with their young folks?
So actually at that stage is really encouragement about stepping forward and not feeling like they should be ashamed of being smart. Like, you're smart, own it. It's all right. Step into it and continue to pursue, avenues that maybe you didn't see or didn't think of because your teachers or guidance counselors or, just people around you, mentors in general, may see some things in you that maybe you didn't see. So at that age right now, they're so impressionable just with everything in the school systems and other students and, the relationships with each other, that sometimes kids don't want to step forward and don't want to be seen as a smart kid and don't want to, they just kind of want to fall back in the shadows. And that's where I think the parents and the mentors and those around the young people really need to step forward and help them understand that it's okay. And you can be, come out this, wonderful young being by just owning, your own happy. Just own your own happy.
And you got to own it for real.
You do.
The ups, the downs, all of it. And
oh, yes.
So you also have family.
I do.
And how do you balance work-life activities?
It's a balance, and no one wins at any given time. Sometimes I do have to say to my family, hope you understand, but I've got to go do this. And so I spend a few longer hours of the day at work. But then when it's family time, I try my best to shut down on the work just to really try to give them that dedication. And I do try to include my family a lot. My husband's here with me at the conference. My babies are at home, but they'll be watching when they can. But I'll bring them if we do something, work does something, some kind of a activity because I want them to see what mommy does. And so I want them to be proud of me as well, even though they're still, young and up and coming. So
I think that's really important. So, what do you do for your downtime? Do you play golf or tennis, or do you have any
that sounds
outside
fun.
activities that you and your girls hang out and do? Or?
Right now, it is all about the kids, and then when I have my downtime, I love shopping. I'm a big shopper, and a lot of women probably say that, but I'm like a bargain hunter. I love to, so that energizes me when I get out into those stores and I'm finding deals, and that to me is kind of my peace because I'm with myself, and I'm like, all right, I'm gonna go hunting. But I love to travel, so like we just got off of a 7-day cruise last week, so I'm a big cruiser. I'm an avid cruiser, and just love to be out and at the beach, that kind of stuff. I love it.
That's wonderful. Let's talk about a person who is about to make a decision on what college to go to. And
Okay.
and what does that look like? What are those thoughts? How did you make the decision to go to school where you went to school? How do you decide? Because there's so many different elements. It's where it's located. What are the things that they need to be thinking about as they look to the future?
So I will tell you, I made a decision about college based on my personal, I don't want to call it attachment, but my relationship with my mother. So it was hard for me to leave her at the time. And so when I went to school, I was actually very close to her, and it was better for me. I tried to go to school away from that, from being, close to that support system, and it didn't work so well. So I would say to the next person is find what's important to you. Some students are great and they want to go as far away from family sometimes as they can, right? So is they have to figure out what that looks like for them, right? And not to be forced by not now you can get a great career based on a degree that you acquire at any university, right? That actually offers the degree. You could still be very successful. So taking that out of it, be somewhere you want to be because you're going to be there a couple years. So you should go somewhere that draws you in. Like when you go and you take those college tours, do you feel good on that campus? Are you walking around? You feel like this is the place I need to be? And if it's not, you won't be happy and you won't do that well in school.
And that's real.
It's very real.
Facade is not really what you should be looking at. You got to dig deep.
Go past just what people say and go past what people, as the brochures look great at every college. The students that are there, the ambassadors, they'll tell you just about anything, right? Because everybody wants you at that school. But you have to feel it. Like you've got to get that feeling when you walk on campus, like this is it. This is the place I need to be. So.
And that's huge. So did you pledge?
I did not. I did not. I wanted to, but at the school, and I ended up changing schools once in my college career. But both schools at the time, they weren't on campus, so I didn't get an opportunity, and I have not done so since I've been on.
Well, I understand that concept. We're
I love it.
So a couple of things. If you were 12 years old and you could do anything you wanted to do, what would it be?
What would it be? It's funny. I love crime shows. I think I would probably go and be an investigator. I absolutely do. I love all of the crime TV and a lot of the new, investigative type, criminology and how they solve. I guess maybe it's back into my problem solving mind, but I like that. I really do. I think that to me would be rewarding, exciting, challenging, but rewarding.
Sometimes we end up in places where we didn't know we were going to end up. Are you involved in any community boards or any community activities?
I am.
What do you mean to you?
Oh, I love all of that. That's like what keeps me going every day, especially in the career. I know people say, "Why do you know, how are you still in that career?" A lot of it is what I give back to others, and for them to see me in them and doing things that they can now strive to do. But I am currently I sit on a advisory board for a NAF Academy, so it's an industry wide program that like links up with high schools to offer like a track for engineering or innovation, and they start up these academies in high schools, and students can come into the academies and they actually get an additional skill set that they, you know, depending on the track that they're on, that they can utilize for post high school, you know, whether they're going, so they try to get them college ready, but if they're not going to college, if they're going to trade school, if they're going to work, they just try to get them the right skills. So some of them come out with certifications that they can go right into the industry with. They come out with knowledge. They do a lot of work-based learning. We were able to bring on, so I sit on the board right now, and for the high school that's in Carrollton, Texas, near me. And we were able to bring on 3 high school interns that spent the summer with us, and they were just really learning alongside our engineers. Yeah, and it was awesome. It was our first year bringing on the high school age interns. We do college interns every summer, and we do co-ops as well at my location.
So one thing I'm always wondering about is how to deal with diversity, and yes, and how can you move that through so that there's a quality everywhere? What is it that we need to do in that here with the women of color?
Yes, so something that we've been working on in at Collins, and especially in my division, we're really looking at how to make things instead of transactional, transformation, right? How do you move from just the day to day? I'm gonna say I'm gonna do this, and then you know I gotta check the box, to really making it making it something that transforms your organization and is actually part of what you do, as opposed to what you just say. So it's kind of the old saying, walk the walk, talk the talk. You know, you don't just talk the talk. You need to walk. You need to walk. So we're really trying to make it transformational in our organization, instead of just checking the box. And so that really takes leaders stepping forward and embracing ideas of change and doing things differently, and not just doing because that's the good thing to do, but because you're believing in the cause, and you're believing in diversity and inclusion piece of our making our organizational success.
I think that's really key in how maybe outside activity for your organization to be themselves. So can you bring it together across the nation? That diversity and inclusion and equity is the new foundation of America. And
Right. To just wanted to just normal, so that it's not something we even have to talk about anymore. But that's the thing. We still have to talk about it because it really still needs to exist in such a way that I wish things were different. It wasn't right. It was just normal. Just way of
I'm really excited about this award that you won. Would you talk about that? What was the name of the award?
So I won the Managerial Leadership Award and I'm super excited. This is a great opportunity to connect with a lot of women of color out here that are successful, and just to see everybody be able to network. Proud to be here to have won the award, just for the things that I'm doing in not only my organization but in the community, just things that I love. So looking forward to it. Looking forward to the conference.
So one thing that I think is really critical here is that the title of the award that you won, and it's managerial leadership. What does leadership mean to you?
I get that question asked a lot, actually, when I'm doing like panels. Leadership is an interesting word, because not everyone is a leader. You can be a manager, but a leader is, really, to me, is who's going to follow you when they don't have to. So, is it something that you're bringing to the table that is making people want to seek out, what you're saying, and head towards, the direction in which you're driving, and you're showing them from a leadership perspective? Do they hear your mission and your vision? Are they following you? Versus, I'm just here because I have to be. So to me, that's what being, a leader is really, being the type of person that people want to be near, want to gravitate to, want to do as you're, go where you're heading. So,
And they respect you enough to follow.
correct.
But you've created an environment where you also are allowing them to grow and to develop, to become a manager, a leader, such as yourself, because it doesn't always happen overnight.
Yes, it doesn't. And I think one of the things that people have to understand is leadership is about you. It really is who you are as a leader. There's no script or book that says thou shalt be a leader. You must do, you've got to find your own way. You've got to play, there's music on a page. You got to play it the way that, speaks to your heart. And then I know I change my leadership style just depending on the situation. So sometimes I have to be a servant leader, as everybody, the phrase, that the buzzword, right, that gets thrown around, because I am at that time. But then there's sometimes I have to step forward and say, okay, we're doing this. So you have to figure out what that, in that moment and in that occasion, what does that leadership style look like, and how do you embody it, all while still being you, who you are.
Okay. Well, Dakeesha, right? Thank you. And I'm going to look forward to your awards program.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure speaking with you, Marcia. I've enjoyed it.
Thank you. So you're now part of the family, so you're going to have to keep coming up with
I know now.
Okay, all right.
That's right. I love it.
Okay. But I think there's somebody here in the wings looking to talk to you, with you. So have him sit with you.
You want to sit here? Okay. Here. I think it's on. Don't touch.
Yes,
Wait,
don't
is it on?
touch
Wait,
anything.
wait.
We can just talk. We're going to talk.
Go ahead. Is it
No,
on?
hold it.
Speak in the mic. Let's see.
Please give us your name and your...
My name is Josh Wright, and this is my wife, Dakeesha Wright. 16 years married and celebrating life, loving each encounter, and celebrating each moment, especially this weekend with her being celebrated for our hard work and dedication.
What does this mean to you and your family?
I mean, it's a tremendous thing. I mean, when you take into consideration the amount of dedication, the late nights, the early mornings, the sacrifice, and just seeing how much work she put into herself along with her team, and leading by example instead of leading just by delegating. And I've seen her roll her sleeves up in various steps of her career to mentor and lead and excel in each area that she has excelled.
And so sometimes we've got all those long evenings and those long reports you got to get done. How do you all balance work life?
They say teamwork makes the dream work. So basically, we understand that it's part of the journey. So whatever it's going to take, I mean, whether it's late nights or early mornings, we come together as a team, game plan, strategize for whatever she's dealing with at the time to make sure that she's comfortable, make sure she's able to freely think, and she's freely able to be the person that she is as a leader.
Well, thank you both very much. The Wright family, ladies and gentlemen. A lot of little nuggets that you got to take with you.
Take care. We'll be right back with our next guest.